Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we will be taking a look at a 1-acre food forest property. This property is not ours though. This food forest belongs to Karla and James, who will be graciously giving us our tour today. This Northwest Florida food forest is one created all by their own hands, having planted and mulched little by little over the past year. Come along and we'll show you what they've got.
We're trying to do all of our trees 8 feet apart, because when we lived downtown we had such a teeny tiny lot,
Right,
and we
yeah.
were planting everything 4 feet apart.
Yeah.
And so it was a jungle, and this will be a jungle too, but at least there'll be room like underneath without stepping on everything, that
Right,
you can
yeah.
plant things at the base. You know, you can do that understory layer.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to do everything here 8 feet apart. And then in the middles, we'll do our pots of like Jerusalem artichokes and any like watermelons, vegetables,
Yeah.
things like that that we want to grow. We just got started with mulching. I think we finally got the first layer of mulch on this a couple of months ago. And now we're starting on other areas.
Yeah.
So he loves persimmons, so we have a whole bunch of. These are all Fuyu persimmons.
Okay, so they're all the same variety.
Yeah, these 4 are all the same variety. We have another little persimmon land out back.
Okay.
That we have different,
Yeah.
more astringent varieties and Asian varieties.
Oh, so that's the Barbados cherry. Okay, yeah, we've got a couple of those ourselves too. Yeah.
You guys want
yeah.
those?
Yeah, we have some. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, right there.
Cherry.
And all of the little pink flowers in there.
Ah, that's the acerola,
Yeah.
the Barbados.
And you can see all the ones that aren't ripe yet form around there.
Oh, there's a red one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. That's where I put the gingers and the turmerics and things like
Okay.
that. These are my yacon. I don't have anything for them to climb yet,
Okay.
but the vines are a climber.
Okay.
So we've had things in here digging. I had saffron corms in here, the saffron
yeah.
crocuses, and the squirrels just dig them up like crazy. And plus saffron doesn't like water. They like to be dry.
Yeah, we tried saffron once too, and it didn't do so well.
Yeah. So I just put this on here so that they don't get any water during the summer.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do my saffron in here, and it'll come back up out of the ground. I'll take this off September.
Okay.
I'll take it off in September when the
Yeah.
massive rains stop, and then I'll let them get rain and everything once they start popping back up. We have a million berries. This year was my berry year. So
Yeah.
I've never been able to find a gooseberry that was okay for this zone.
Oh.
And I found a Glendale,
Okay.
I believe it is. So a Glendale gooseberry. And I planted it near the jostaberry over there because they're kind of related. So if it needed pollinating, I wanted them close by. But I'm experimenting with a bunch of different berries this year.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. But yeah, our plan is every 8 feet, and then in the middle, we do other things. We plant things underneath it, or we'll put a pot of something low growing down there. We have a whole bunch of different pomegranate varieties, and for some reason we are hooked on plums. So, and these are our quince, and those you have to cook to be able to eat them. So we found this one variety called Aroma Takaya or something like that, and you can supposedly eat it fresh.
Okay.
So we're kind of excited about that, because
Yeah.
I've never heard of a quince you could eat fresh.
Yeah, I don't know much about the
So-
quinces.
We started end of last January.
Yes.
So February.
February.
We started in February.
About 15 months.
Because in January we hired somebody to cut down, the trees close to the house and kind of out there where I wanted to put fig land. So yeah, I love my figs, but I mean he cut a lot more than he was contracted for, which was nice, but that's the only thing and we're in our 60s.
Yeah.
We won't say how far into our 60s, but we're in our 60s, and except for cutting the trees, we have done everything here ourselves, just him and me, So if people think I'm too old to do that, I mean,
it's really meditation.
I had a knee replaced
It is,
in
especially
December,
water it.
and the September before a hip replaced, and we're still doing all of this, So just do it a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Until you get tired and have to quit.
And they do.
So
Some of them have fruit.
it's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. We're starting to put in raised beds, and we're using some of these really big pots that were
Yeah.
fairly inexpensive when we bought them as raised beds. So I'm trying to plant like companion planting in the raised beds. Trying to put nasturtiums so that things will go and eat the nasturtiums instead of the others. And like with these watermelons, I've put borage and some of my lettuce leaf basil. And I have seen things on these instead of these. These I just transplanted, so this one's not real happy about it. But in the raised beds, it's just random things. If I've planted some melon seeds, but a lot of them, it's just we ate a melon and we took some of the seeds and put it in there, like cantaloupes and things like that. But this is our grape and muscadine area. So along there, along to here, and we had left that alone because we didn't want to disturb the gopher tortoise, but it left, so it was not happy. But yeah, the grapes are coming in nice.
See the little grapes.
I planted a male cowart muscadine, and it'll help pollinate all the grapes and all the muscadines. Another peach. This is my longans. It's going to have to go in a greenhouse for winter. We lost tons of citrus. I think I counted maybe 18 citrus trees.
Yeah.
So because of the 8 inches of snow
Right.
that nobody on their right mind would have expected, So you videoed it. It was. So now we're putting anything that might be temperature sensitive in a pot, so we can leave it out during the summer, and then if we're expecting frost or cold, we can either put it on the back porch, put it in a greenhouse, things along those lines. Kohlrabi here, and like I said, nasturtiums. They're not eating the nasturtiums here. Apparently they prefer the kohlrabi, but we're trying to get that planted in there. And like I said, every time we eat something, I plant another random melon.
Keep filling it up.
He could eat a melon every day.
And what you got in here?
That's my mullein.
Okay.
And then I have Okinawan spinach, and my longevity spinach, I thought it was done for. But it took 8 inches of snow, and I'm shocked, because that's like a temperate kind of, it's not really a snow green, Lemongrass is coming back. It's not weeded. This area was dandelions, but apparently the other weeds liked it more. So I had a big Ulam Raja King Salad Cosmos here last year, and I planted the seeds this year, but now I see them all
Oh, yeah, I see
coming
that
back,
there.
volunteering on their own. So I have,
Is that flax there?
that's flax, yeah. I have some blue flax there, some, bachelor's buttons. I'm trying to do all edible flowers. The only one I have inside the yard that's not edible is the hyacinth, because he wanted some hyacinths in here. So, and he didn't want the grape hyacinths. I tried to talk him into that, because those parts of you could eat. I heard. I don't know for sure. That's my Sochan.
Yeah.
Sochan, y'all gave me that. So I got that growing back there with some Mexican tarragon.
Oh, nice.
And I have little bits of chamomile planted here and there, trying to see where it'll grow the best. And then that is my St. John's wort.
Oh, that's a nice one.
So I'm trying to grow tree kale, tree cabbage.
Okay.
So hopefully they'll get bigger than this. They'll get this big at some point. These we planted from seed. They're Tamarillo. And these purslane, I can never find wild purslane. Purslane?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can never find it wild. And after I bought these, I found one.
Oh, wow.
At the base of one of my trees. But these are more the colorful varieties.
Oh, that's an interesting
Isn't that pretty?
one, yeah. It's an interesting
So-
variety.
I've been trying to read all about purslane, and it's really good for you. I'm surprised at how big these tomatoes are getting. This is the Floridade, heat-tolerant tomatoes. And so we have the Floridade, which they don't come back every year like the Everglades tomatoes. But back there we have some Everglades tomatoes. But this is the Tamarillo. We had bought a Tamarillo and just planted the seeds because it was so good. Tastes like a tropical tomato, just a hint of tomato. But we have Tamarillos. We're growing them everywhere. we don't have the heart. That's the reason we have so many of them. We plant all these seeds and we don't expect them to come up. We expect to get a couple out of all these seeds, and then they all come up this year. It's crazy. And these are my figs that, this one, most of these I grew from cuttings. So, like this Galicia Negra, I'm very excited about. It's growing like crazy. I've already had to put it in a 3-gallon pot. And I have a Deanna that's the same way. But I just love different fig varieties. And I thought this was going to be my year for eating a ton of figs. And every single one of my figs just died back to the ground. So I had to trim them all back, and now they're all coming back from the roots that I did last year. And this year my cuttings are going to stay in pots until next spring. So get them a little bit bigger and maybe tougher.
What's this one here?
This is the hybrid chestnut. I planted all
okay.
these from seed.
Okay.
And they're just getting big. So we're going to do a row of chestnuts out back. And this is more of there's my ashwagandha. And this is more of my berry row. This is supposed to be a emerald carpet raspberry. It's supposed to creep on the ground.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never heard of that one before.
Yeah, these are all this year. So I'm surprised I'm even getting raspberries. But they are tasty.
Yeah, that's very sweet.
Yeah. Yep. all of our avocados apparently also died. So we want a type A and a type B, so they can pollinate each other.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is a type A, this Choquette, Home Depot maybe? And the type B we got off Facebook Marketplace. It's a Brogdon. And here's our new citrus. This is a yuzu. It's supposed to be good down to like below zero even degrees. So it's a yuzu Sudachi Ishandrin citrus. But you know, you watch all these cooking shows and everybody's flavoring with
Yeah.
yuzu, so I wanted one of those. Oh, these are ground cherry, more larger pineapple ground cherries. We're going to put those in a raised bed. Here's my dwarf jackfruit. It's a J31 jackfruit, and these are all jackfruits that we planted from seed this year.
Yeah, got quite a few there.
They grow, I know, like I said, for some reason our seeds are just going crazy this year.
Yeah, no, we've had a lot better luck this year with them.
And it's like you can't keep them all because there's not going to be room in the
Yeah.
greenhouse. And yes, our little moringas. Oh, I bought seeds for a dwarf moringa, and one of them's actually popping out, you know. So I hope it does really well. These are my black raspberries. Again, black raspberries don't normally grow in our zone, but one of the varieties, they're supposed to be good to zone 8, and one of them said zone 9. So I'm
Okay,
assuming in the
yeah.
shade. So that's why it's here. But it was just crowns. It's 3 of one type that's thornless and 3 of
Okay.
another type. And I just never expected all 6 of them to do so well. But I'm very excited by that, because black raspberry is one of those things that is supposed to promote stem cell production in your body. So that and mangoes, I believe. I'm trying to plant different colored sunflowers, pinks and purples and yellows. And that's my arrowroot in there. So mostly in this area is all of our things we've just potted up. And this is one of our shadiest areas. So we get them used to the sun here. Because especially with a greenhouse one, you know, a nursery one, you don't know if it was in a greenhouse
yeah.
or what. This is the giant grenadilla passion fruits. And those are banana passion fruit. And then over there we have our purple possum, you know. But we really wanted this banana passion fruit just to, and this one just to taste it.
Yeah.
We've tried like 3 years and we keep killing them in the cold. So this time we're putting them, they have really long roots. So this time
Okay.
we're putting them
Yeah.
in big or very tall pots so that they're happy, and they look
pretty happy.
they look pretty happy. These two are the Primark and the Primark Freedom. The Primark has thorns and the Primark Freedom doesn't, but it's one of those rare blackberries that'll produce berries on 2-year-old canes and first-year canes, the Floricanes and the Primacanes. So that's pretty exciting to me. You're supposed to get 2 harvests a year out of it. So most blackberries, they don't do that. But here is the miracle berry. He's trying to air layer it. Yeah. But this is his baby. Trying to see if there's a berry on it.
I don't see anything.
Yeah,
I think
don't
it's mad
either.
because he's doing these air layers. But those are all we just planted seeds. They kept falling
okay.
off and falling off, you know. And so he just started planting seeds in these pots, and they're doing great.
Yeah.
This is my witch hazel. We pretty much want everything to either have a purpose or to be edible. Medicinal, edible in some way, you know, either the flowers or the bulbs if it's a flower. This blueberry tree was here.
Yeah, this is huge.
Yeah, this was here when we bought the place, and after it finishes giving us blueberries, we're gonna prune. You can see there's some that are already ripe. That's the first I've seen. And I do throw like sulfur tablets, because there used to be a pine tree here, and you know it would just all of its leaves and everything would be in this area. So I just throw. This has done tremendously well, and the soil here is just not good. And soon we won't have to fertilize, you know, in a couple of years when we get our soil better. But right now we're having to, we just don't want our stuff to die.
Yeah.
So I throw some fertilizer in there too whenever I'm fertilizing, and it's really happy. We cut all the things that were shading it. Last year there were berries on this side, but no berries on this side. So we cut off all the overhanging limbs that were coming over the fence.
Yeah.
And now that it's getting sun, there's berries everywhere. This is fig land, but it's not just fig land. I mean, he calls it fig land. But it's not just fig land.
99%.
99% figs, yeah.
Fig.
But I do have like a chase tree, and this is going to be, I mean, these all died back. You can see it died back to nothing. And I trimmed it back, and it came out from the roots. So figs, I would say 90, like you said, 98%. There's a few that didn't make it back. They were just too stressed. But for the most part, all these little guys, they're all coming back. So I'm pretty happy about it. This one we just bought because we wanted a fig at some point in our life. And everybody, you can see how little they are when coming back. You know, you get depressed and it's like, oh, I wanted to have figs this year.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, let's just get a bigger fig tree. Like I said, every tomato on earth actually came from seed. So here I have some melons and some more Floridae tomatoes. And here I'm trying some amaranth, the yellow and the red varieties. I'm trying it mixed with other things. I just want to see how well it'll do. And then next year I'm gonna like plant a whole bed of red and a whole bed of yellow, or all along an area, just if it does well. Those are our yellow Everglades, and they look perky today. They look happy. Those seeds were started, I don't know, a month and a half after all of those, so they're way behind. But now that they're in the ground, they're just gonna go crazy. We put those in the ground 3 weeks ago. Was it 3 weeks ago?
This?
No,
Those 3 weeks.
the Everglades and the Florida
Yeah.
was like, where are we putting all this, you know? So we just put them back behind the greenhouse, and as soon as they went in the ground, they doubled in size like overnight, and they've just been growing crazy. These are my hardy kiwis. This may actually be too small because I have one at each corner, and I have an Anna, I have a Ken's Red, I have a meter, which is a male. You have to have a male. I go to Deborah Casey's a lot in Milton, and because she has really good quality plants, I'll get some plants for her, and that's where I got the Anna and the Ken's Red. But you know, she can keep the male kiwi alive. But 2 years in a row, I have tried to grow it, and I think I'm overwatering them, you know. So I ended up getting a meter male, which I like better because it'll make a few fruits. And the regular male kiwis, they don't make any fruit. So I ended up getting a meter, and it's doing really well. I have a prolific kiwi over there, which is supposed to be self-fertile. So we'll see. We're gonna put 12-foot beams on the top so that it sticks over 4 feet each way, because really, if you look online, people who have these have huge areas to themselves, you know, and then the next one is planted 12 feet away, you know, or more.
Yeah.
So, but we, you know, we do high intensity planting, so y'all are just gonna have to share. That's all it is. You know, be friends with each other. But yeah, they're doing really well. The male, not so much. But that's why I decided that meter male over there, it'll pollinate all the rest of them. You only have to have one male. We have little bitty key limes. Look
No,
how
it's a
cute.
finger line.
The finger limes. Look how cute they are when they're babies. You can tell they're going to be long, skinny little limes. And they're the ones that when you pop them open, it's like caviar. You know, the little beads just pop out and all the juice stays in the beads. Here's our cucamelons, and they are very happy. They're going to get huge. And there may be too many cucamelons here, but again, we didn't know how many were going to make it. But they make these little bitty tart, very tart cucumbers, you know, and they look like little watermelons. But they just get about that big, and they're good fresh, but I hear they're really good pickled. So I'm looking forward to, and he loves cucumber in any form. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got one! Look at that!
Very tiny.
It's not going to get much bigger than that. What, about twice that size?
Yeah. Twice that.
Maybe 3 times that size.
Don't know.
Oh, that's so cool. Mayhaws, we both grew up loving mayhaw. Oh my gosh, mayhaw jelly is like one of the best things. So we have mayhaw here, there, one on the other side. And we got them from different places, so if they need cross-pollinating, they can pollinate each other. This is my new goji berry row. This one is the same variety as that one on the end. It's a Scarlet Empress, I think. And these are just your basic, I have no idea what kind of goji berries.
Basic goji berry.
I'm sorry, Red Empress goji berry. And that one is the same thing. It's a little healthier. But goji berries get huge. So we're going to put a big trellis on this side like cattle panel and let it go over it and into this area, away from the figs. Oh, time to pick mimosa flowers. Oh, even this one's starting to make them.
Oh, yeah. So I see the little
Yeah.
pink there.
We pick these and I dehydrate them and like a couple of them each at night with our passion fruit leaves. Get a really good night's sleep.
Yeah, I've been making a tincture with the passion flower, so it's not done yet, so it'll be interesting to try it and see how it works.
And see if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing how just a little bit, just making a tea with it, you know, just that little bit helps you. This is our row of apple trees, and oops, sorry. That's our supposed deer deterrent, but as you can tell from the way that all of our mulberries and apples have been eaten, that they're not at all deterred.
Yeah.
They are not scared. We decided to do 3 different varieties of banana. So we spaced them all out because they need a lot of room to make their little circles. Their little rhizomes will make a circle, and so we spaced them out. There's one there, one there. This one is Golden African. We got every variety that I bought the variety that says it's good to zone 7. And that company, and I don't remember which one it was it Gurney's? Maybe. But that company, they only had 3 varieties that said they would go to that zone. And I bought all 3 of them. Bought this one, I bought the Cavendish, and a red Puri, something like that. These are our pawpaw trees, yeah.
3 different kinds.
This one's
4.
we have 4 kinds?
Yeah.
This one's like a sunflower pawpaw. It'll be a few years before we get anything, but we're excited to try it. This is my beauty berry. It was in here,
Yeah.
so I rescued it because when I try to plant one, they want to be where they want to be, and when you try to plant one sometimes, that's just not where it wanted to be. So this one I found growing wild, and so I cut everything out around it so that it would be there, because I just love looking at them.
Yeah,
I know
they
there's
are-
a lot of things you can do with them, but
Yeah, like actually one of the main things we do with them is with the berries, we do feed them to our chickens. They like those a lot.
Oh,
So,
yeah?
Yeah.
and supposedly you can do like a mosquito repellent.
Yeah, with like the leaves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I've never done all that. I just want to walk and see it, you know?
Yeah.
And we don't have chickens, but hey, we got little rabbits that aren't scared of us, so I don't know about them. This one, we were afraid. We transplanted it, and transplanting pawpaw is supposed to be a humongous no-no, you know? But we transplanted it this past winter, and luckily the soil underneath it was so hard that that taproot kind of went sideways instead of way deep, so we were able to get all of it. But we weren't sure. we thought it might die, but it's happy. It's coming back.
Yeah.
It took it longer than the little guys because it was stressed out, but yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
That's good.
Yeah, Raja Puri banana, and I think it makes like red ones. There's another mimosa that we let live, but I was like, are they okay for these deer to eat? Apparently they are. So I looked it up, and the shoots are edible. So you can cook the shoots and eat them, and they definitely ate
Yeah, I
it
can
down
see that.
to the nothing there. This was avocado land. This Mexicola Grande is coming back. I think above the grass, maybe. I'm not sure about that, but I'm leaving it alone, and when it gets bigger, I'll get down under there a little bit better. But this one and my Joey were the only 2 that survived the cold. Everything else, avocado-wise, just died. That's the Shirokaga apricot. It makes this weird small apricot that I believe Japanese people maybe, they pickle them.
Okay.
So I'm like, I can try
Alright.
that. I like weird things.
Yeah.
These 2 are our dwarf Thai mulberries, and they were so big and so pretty, and the deer have just mutilated them. So we're gonna dig them up and put them in a big pot closer to the house
Okay.
so that the deer,
Won't come up there.
yeah. These are all my hazelnuts. I have so many hazelnut varieties now. I've been getting them when they were small.
Yeah.
And this is my European hazelnut. And like teeny tiny over there I'm trying not to weed it too much because I don't want the deer to see it. Because I had cleaned up around another variety that I bought that was a hybrid variety. And they immediately found it, even though it was this tall, and ate it. So we have just American hazelnuts, the Europeans, and then I have some hybrids that I want them all to just cross-pollinate each other. These are our jujubes. We have several varieties, and we had to order most of them because people around here just have never heard. You go to a nursery and you say, "Do you have jujube?" And they're like, "What's a jujube?" And I'm like, "You don't have jujube." You don't have it, you know. So most of these I've had to order. But like I said, the lady in Milton, Deb Casey, she started selling Lee and Lang, so which are the two most common varieties. So we got Lee and Lang from her.
Yeah, that back there.
Yeah. And this one, you can see they're just starting to break out with blooms. There's some blooms.
Tiny flowers.
They're tiny. The blooms are tiny. And they're all thorny. The thorns may be different, but they're all thorny. They're vicious. But yeah, we have a lot of different varieties. This is our Sherwood. We have a sugar cane. We have a Chico. We have the Lee, the Lang. The GA866, which I grew from cuttings. So I was pretty excited about that because they're very difficult to grow from cuttings. And I haven't tried it again since I did that experiment. And then we have some wild ones, and they're all delicious, like little crispy apples. And some of them, and you can dehydrate them as well. So pretty excited about that. This, like I said, this place is a very long acre. It's like a little over 60 feet wide, but it goes over 650 feet back, you know. So it's just a really long acre, and we're going to use every bit of it. More pears, plums, figs. Not much grows here, so I'm trying to get Roselle hibiscus to grow because they like sun. So those little seedlings there are starting to come up. And once they take off, they'll be huge. You just have to... I had in this area African potato mint, but it didn't like the snow. I see one coming back now, like right here.
Oh yes, there it is.
I can see one little African potato mint. Oh, and there's
yeah,
another one.
Yeah,
Oh, and there's
yeah,
one.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's coming up. Actually, yeah, there's some more right there.
I have high hopes now. So I want my African potato mint to come back.
Yeah.
I have elderberry planted along that back line over there, just because I want to plant enough of them that I can use some of the flowers and still have plenty left over for the berries. That's our compost area over there. And this is more plums. And I have 2 almond trees that I ordered. We want our nuts, we want berries, we want fruit trees. The deer like the almond trees too. We'll eventually get this fenced in, but we've been so busy planting and doing all the other things that we needed to do that we just haven't had a chance to fence against the deer. When I get back here, that's when I started planting my chinkapins. It's a native.
Yeah, we have 2 of those trees at our other property.
Oh,
yeah,
do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Haven't gotten any nuts off them yet though.
Chinkapins are great because you don't have to roast them. They're related to the chestnut, but they don't have that high tannin level that the chestnuts have.
Okay.
Chestnuts, you have to either boil them, roast them. You have to do something to the chestnuts. But chinkapins, I remember being a little kid and my mom taking me out in the woods because she knew where a chinkapin tree was. You know, and we just got them and ate them just straight off the tree. Another mulberry we're trying to protect. It's like deer don't like stepping.
Yeah, inside the circle of pots.
Yeah. And we had that row of pineapple guava out front there, but here I have like a Cattleya guava, which is, I believe, the lemon guava, and I have a strawberry, or sometimes it's called cherry guava, and it's coming back from the snow, so that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And this is my cherry zone. These are all, and everything we plant has to be low chill. So these are all my low chill cherries. Like the Stella, we have a Royal Crimson. It's a low chill. Most people think you can't grow apples here. The Mini Royal, another Royal Crimson I got from a different person. And this one must taste good. A Royal Lee cherry. And most people think you can't grow apples here. Oh, you can't grow apples here. You can't grow cherries here. You can grow pretty much anything. Can't grow black raspberries here, you know. You just have to keep searching until you find one that's made for your area. So it's pretty cool. I love cherries, fresh cherries. And back there, we're not going to walk back there. I call it snake land. But we have chairs set up so when we're working back here. But back there I have my black walnuts and my 2 English or white walnuts. And that's where I'm going to put more chestnuts. And I have more chinkapins back there. And then in between I have like a Siberian pea shrub, which puts nitrogen down into the ground, because walnuts suck the nitrogen up, you know. They need so much fertilizer. So I have a Siberian pea shrub planted in between 2 of the walnuts, and then the scarlet gumi, which is a berry.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like an autumn olive
Yeah,
related.
yeah, I think that's
think
in
the
that
gumi
family.
is related to the autumn olive,
Mhm.
but they put a lot of nitrogen in the ground. So I put those in between the walnut trees, just so we wouldn't have to constantly
Yeah.
fertilize.
Yeah.
Trying to do permaculture. Right now we're having to use some fertilizer because this is our soil. At the top is sand, you know, and then about 2 inches down you hit red clay. So we're going to mulch this entire
Yep.
entire acre. And then when we're finished mulching, we're going to go back to the front and we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
Because 1 layer of mulch is not enough. You need, you know, at your house,
Mm-hmm.
you have a thick layer of mulch, and it's all breaking down and making soil that the trees love. Right. So eventually, that's what we're gonna do. We're getting there.
Yep.
The yellow cassava, as far as I can tell so far, is the only one coming back. And I think it's because they were protected under these trees. All these trees, they were barren trees, but they were still trees. You know, they were still blocking some of the wind and the sun. And so some of our yellow cassava is coming back. And when it gets big enough, I'm going to propagate a lot more of it. Because if you're going to handle the cold weather, that's the one you need to have. Our watering situation, to be able to do this, we buy 100-foot hoses. And then we buy 75-foot to 100-foot to go that way. So we have it going all the way from the front to all the way back here. So we can water our plants all the way back. We just keep connecting 100-foot hoses.
Right.
Because setting up drip irrigation, that's just crazy for us, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, that's expensive, and that's just, it's pretty much, if you can't live with rain and us watering it once a week, you know, you might get it twice a week when you're first putting the ground, But other than that, y'all just have to make it.
Recently, we did put in some PVC pipe, and that kind of allows us to have multiple hoses at different spots in the yard.
Oh, that's nice. That's pretty good too. This is just all we've come up with for now. We're in the beginning stages.
Yeah.
I'd like y'all to see it like a year from now, you know,
We'll be back.
when everything starts growing and
Yeah.
we get things clean. The cleanup, yeah, that's another thing back there. It's like random car parts and, you know, it's just, we did a lot of cleaning on this lot before we could even plant.
Start, yeah.
But yeah, these are all our citruses that died. And we're hoping, since that's a big leaf, that it's coming up above the graft. But I don't have a lot of hope for it. So, but our little loquats, all their flowers froze, but the loquats themselves lived for the most part. This is my spineless
Prickly pear.
prickly pear, yeah. It still has the glow kids, the little bitty guys, but it's when they first come out on a new pad, you can just pet them. They're just so soft. So these are all just the new pads, and those will fall off, and then it'll just have like the teeny tiny ones that are the most annoying anyway. but I love that. It's like having a pet, you know. But yeah, this one is the bed that I have all my edible flowers in, or a lot of them. I have dianthus bulbs planted periodically. I just planted some bulbs there. I think it was gladiolus. And then the edible daylilies that I haven't eaten them recently. I've eaten the nasturtium flowers. They're
Yeah,
really
those
good.
are good, yeah.
They're really good. But yeah, this is my edible flower area. I have seeds from helichrysum that I'm trying to get to grow down there and along here. But I just got tired of trying to put things in my salad containers and sprouting them. So I put some right at the base of the tree, and I just make sure it gets watered every day. So hopefully I'll have some helichrysum come up. And I just take because the blooms are only good for one day, so I take the blooms and I just mulch somewhere.
Yeah.
I just go get them all, and then I
Yeah.
put them somewhere to feed the rest of it. Pineapple guavas over there, and we only got a couple of blooms this year, but it was a stressful winter for them.
Yes.
More sunflowers. I'm trying to plant burdock in there all around. So now is he's still on big trees wanting to put a bunch in the ground, but I want to do the bottom layer, of my food forest. I want to get all the layers going.
Right.
So it's a start. It's only been going a year.
Yep.
First of all, I like to plant the trees, and then I like to water them. Make sure good stuff goes to that soil I'm planting into.
Yeah.
Since we don't have a good soil here, we have awful soil, and I water it. Each time I water it, I feel meditated. Talk to them. I used to threaten them a lot when they got big. I tell them, well, they understand me. They understand it. I feel like we connected. It's so relaxing. Just water and see them how they grow. It's just like children. It feels good.
We work every day. every day. We are out here working on something.
Thank you all so much for watching. Let us know if you'd like to learn more about any of the plants mentioned here on our tour today. And we thank Karla and James again for giving us the time to explore their food forest property. Take care, and we will see you again in the next video.